Realistic Vision Accepting Constraints. Introduction. The purpose of this educational module is to introduce to textile and clothing firm managers the importance of identify and accept constraints in order to manage them and build a successful business. Constraints are inevitable, and to identify them and understand how to manage them is key. After completion of this module, you'll be able to understand the role of limits and constraints of your business, to understand the principles of the theory of constraints, TOC, and the different elements of its management systems. The theory of constraints. The theory of constraints, TOC, is a systems management philosophy developed by Eliyahu M. Goldratt in the 1980s. The basic assumption of TOC is that constraints establish the limits of performance for any system. According to the TOC, managers should focus on effectively managing these constraints if they are willing to improve the performance of their organisation and to determine the uses and benefits of TOC for the organisations. How does it work? Managers need to rethink some of their fundamental assumptions about how to achieve the goals of their organisations, about what they consider productive actions, and about the real purpose of cost management. TOC helps managers to understand and manage the constraints that stand between an organisation and the attainment of its goals. Once the constraints are identified, TOC subordinates all the non-constraining resources of the organisation to the needs of its core constraints. The result is optimisation of the total system of resources. Key principles. The main principles upon which the TOC is based on are: processes, organisations as chains. If processes and organisations function as chains or flows, the weakest links can be found and strengthened. Local versus system optima. To optimise the output of every machine in a company is not good, as the optimisation of the flow of materials and value created through its linked set of activities. Cause and effect. All companies operate in an environment based on cause and effect relationships that can be very complex. The key to optimise the system performance is to identify the nature of cause and effect correlation within the system and to identify variables that emulate these correlations. Physical versus policy constraints. Sometimes constraints can be from policies instead of physical things. Policy constraints like behaviour, attitudes and assumptions are potentially more damaging than physical constraints, yet are much more difficult to identify and deal with. Total system impact. In order to optimise performance, it is important for managers to understand and focus on the total system impact of a decision or event, not just on its local or immediate effects. TOC Management System. The TOC management system is made of the following elements: logistics, scheduling, performance measurement, problem solving, thinking process, project management, market segmentation. Advantages of the theory of constraints. A management applying the TOC to manage constraints can get many advantages, like the increase of products and services quality and profitability, a reduction of the inventory level and the improvement of a competitive position. The TOC can be applied in manufacturing organisations, but can also be effectively applied in marketing and administration areas and can be used in association with other management techniques to have a more synergic management of a company. The role of management in the theory of constraints. The role of management in the TOC is crucial. It has to focus on identifying, analysing and reporting key events and opportunities affecting the organisation in order to have a 360-degree view of the data necessary for the decision makers. Management also gives an important contribution to identify solutions for easing constraints and their impact. Conclusion. Reassuming. It is fundamental for a company not to ignore but to take into account all the constraints it can face in the market. The theory of constraints is a powerful tool to manage them and maximize benefits.